Hey guys, welcome back to That Gamer Girl. It's Blair, and welcome to Vlogmas Day 5. And in today's video, you guys all voted. There were only 2 votes because the video from yesterday did not get very many views, but it's okay. I'm not complaining. Because one view, one person watched it. You know what? That matters to me. Okay, so yeah, so today you guys all voted for, I think it was a story time, because there were 2 people who voted, and they both voted for obby/storytime/Q&A. And I said, if you want a Q&A, you should write some questions down and I'll answer them. But no one wrote any questions down, so I'm assuming that you guys want a story time. So I'm going to give you guys a bit of a story time. It's super chaotic. I have a ton of story times because let's just say my middle school years before 8th grade were pretty crazy. So I'm in 8th grade right now, and I think that life is a bit easier, a bit chiller. It's way easier. So I'm going to do my one from 7th grade because it's definitely more fresh in my mind and I kind of remember it. Okay, so in 7th grade, I was best friends with this girl who was a little toxic. She ranked everyone in order of how much she liked them. She spread rumors. She got jealous. And I will give the hacker story time later, but there was a hacker who hacked me. And then this girl who was my best friend, she wasn't really my best friend. We just called each other's best friend because her old best friend moved away, and of course, the minute she moved away, she was like, okay, I need a new best friend. You can just be since you're my second choice. And so I was like, okay. And I wanted a best friend. I was new to the school, so yeah, I was like, okay. And so we were kind of best friends, but not really because of everything. And so she spread rumors to a bunch of people that I was the one who was pretending to get hacked. I think it's only greens, probably, yeah. But I was pretending to get hacked for attention. So she told a bunch of people that, and obviously the hacker, that situation was super, raw and, traumatizing to me. That entire situation was. And so I was really upset about it. And, so our friendship was super rocky and it wasn't going great. But then there was a new girl who joined our school. And we're going to call her Marlo. That's random, but it's pretty. I like the name Marlo. Well, no, Harlow. Okay, we'll call her Harlow. Okay. And so there's a new girl named Harlow. And at my school, the populars speak a different language. I'm not going to say what language because we don't need to give away what school I go to. But the popular kids at my school speak a different language. And this girl's American like me and only spoke English. And so this new girl joined, and she was American. She didn't speak any Spanish, but the only people she was able to hang out with were those populars. And she was just there by herself, following them around, not talking to anyone, because she had no one to talk to, because they were all speaking Spanish. And so we felt so bad for her, so we went to go, hey, come and sit with us. And right away, me and Harlow hit it off. She was super amazing to me. And so then the girl who's been my best friend, we're gonna call her Gracie. Gracie invited us all to her club. And so I was having an issue. I'm not gonna talk about this issue until maybe when I get more comfortable, but I was having an issue. So I was texting my mom and I was hyperventilating, blah blah blah. And she started yelling at me. She went, Blair, you're on your phone at my country club. I'm paying for you to be here and you're on your phone. Get off your phone. And, so I was hyperventilating. I was red and I was crying. And they were yelling at me. And so they took my phone and they started throwing it around the table. I was crying. And I told them, please give it back. So I took it. I was give it back. I snapped. I yelled and I went, give it back. Okay, and I yelled. And so when they gave it back, I ran to the bathroom, and I was crying. So Harlow, ignore what I just said. Harlow, followed me in the bathroom, and this other girl who wasn't really close to me, but she was close to Harlow, who was actually Yeti. This was before me and Yeti were best friends, and she was much closer to Harlow. And they both came running to the bathroom, chasing me. And so I said, so they were like, oh, are you okay? I'm sorry. Like, I should have helped you get your phone back, blah, blah, blah. They even voted me in that game, like, I'm most likely to, like, they just said some mean things, and who's most likely to game. So, you know. And I was dealing with, body image issues. So when they said I was most likely to get fat, I was super upset. But yeah. So, they came to the bathroom, they helped me. I told them everything that Gracie had been doing. I told them about her mocking me, bullying me, her spreading rumors, all that. And they were super supportive. They hugged me. They were super sweet. So they kind of became a trio. The three of us became a trio. And because we were in such a big group, everyone felt super excluded, which I now realize becoming a trio wasn't a great idea. We all had sleepovers every weekend. We were all super close. We did everything together. We always sat on one side of the table. We'd leave the table just to share secrets. And people felt super left out. So we were in that trio. And obviously, Gracie, who was my, quote-unquote best friend, was super angry about this. So she showed up to the table, and she was bawling her eyes out. So I went up to her, and I was like, hey, what's wrong? She was like, you're ditching me, you're a bitch, like one of them. You're ditching me, you promised you would never ditch me, you promised we'd be best friends forever. I don't really remember promising that. I think she made it up, but I don't know. Maybe I did. I really don't remember, but she was like, you promised we'd be best friends forever. Now you're ditching me for Harlow. And so she was really, upset. So she started spreading more rumors. And the entire friend group, because of that, hated me. They hated Harlow, and they hated me. So I was super upset. So the three of us just decided to just hang out. They were like, we'll be there for you. If they're mean to you, we'll be there for you. And I was like, thank you. Like, you guys are super sweet. But then we went to one of the girls, Yeti's house, okay? And let's just say some things at her house apparently were off to Harlow. And so Harlow, for that reason, stopped liking Yeti. So we went to a birthday party, and the three of us, and we were just hanging out. And she was like, come on, Blair, come with me. And so Harlow started talking really bad about Yeti and her family to me and a couple other girls. And so she talked bad about Yeti and her family, and I felt horrible. I was like, what is happening? So one of the girls who was, Harlow called me her best friend. I'll explain more about this later in the story time. But yeah, so one of the girls in that conversation went over and told Yeti what we were talking about. So I left in tears, I didn't know, in tears as I saw Yeti, crying on that girl's shoulder because of the bad things that they were saying. And I felt horrible. So I went and I told the girls what was happening. And yeah. So we got into a pretty big fight that day. So Harlow was starting to show signs of being toxic. She told me things like, so I went, she was like, why are you on the other side? Like, why aren't you with us? And they were like mean things, like calling each other plastics and things like that. A lot of things. Are you trying to push me? But yeah, we were calling each other plastics, and it was really bad. But then I realized, why is she forgiving? So the girl that went to go tell Yeti everything, she forgave, but she just didn't forgive me. I was bawling my eyes out. I'm a very emotional person, so That's why. I was crying. She was like, you're my best friend. I thought we were best friends. Like, you're super blah. And even though, yeah. So, I was crying and she's just yelling at me. And yeah, so I try to stop. So I get off we go home. I'm in the same car as her. My parents are picking her up that night. Because we were best friends, okay? Well, she called me her best friend. And so my parents obviously were going to pick her up and drop her off, which is super awkward. So we get home and we call. All of us in the fight called. And obviously they were all yelling at me. So, and for some reason, Gracie actually defended me. She went, hey, can you leave her alone? Like, she didn't mean anything. She just wanted the best for everyone, blah, blah, blah. So Gracie defended me as I was crying. And I left the call because I knew it was negative and my parents had been crying and they were like, what's going on? So I left the call. So I was super upset. Gracie defended me and everything. And yeah. So the next day at the birthday party, it was super awkward. And Harlow was like, you are my best friend. And I was like, thanks. So she went, like, she had my hand everywhere, blah, blah, blah. And so and then I just didn't want to go on any rides, okay? Well, at first, there was this one ride, and I was like, I don't want to go on that ride, because I just get scared of certain rides, so I was like, I don't want to go. So she yelled at me, she was like, you're gonna miss out, you're ruining my birthday, and she just got super angry at me. Everyone got pretty angry at me, and the thing is that Gracie wasn't there. It was only all of us who talked bad about Yeti and Yeti. And one other girl who just had no idea what was happening. So I stuck with her. So she got super mad at me, obviously, for not... Oh, this is going to be like... yeah. Scares me, like, just looking down like that. But yeah, so... she was mad at me, and so she just completely stopped hanging out with me. We had to get in groups. I wanted to be in a group with her. She's like, no, I don't want to be with you. I want to be with... We're going to call her Bethany. I want to be with Bethany. Like, she just, like, completely just didn't like me anymore. She just started ditching me. And so I was super upset. So then later at the end of the day, we had fun at the birthday party, we played things, and we hugged it out. And yeah. But she's like, okay. But I don't want to hang out with that friend group anymore because they hate me and they hate you. So I said, okay. So I left. So me and her stopped hanging out with that friend group. But Yeti got super mad at me for not hanging out there anymore. She was like, I thought we were best friends. Why are you choosing her over me? Like, so Yeti got super mad at me because she thought we were best friends. And I now realize I should have been her best friend because she was actually nice to me. So she's like, I thought we were best friends. Why are you just leaving me for her? She's so mean. Like, yeah. And she was saying it, like, with todo razón. And I'm saying this in Spanish, but, like, in English, like, she had all the reasons to be mad at me. So she was mad at me. And she just told, yeah. So I was hanging out with them. And then some of the people in the friend group, because I've always been short with a high voice, blah, 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 people are protective over me because they think I am cute. Like, not cute, like hot cute, but like baby cute, okay? And so they were protective. And so people started coming up to me and saying, like, Blair, are you okay? Are they forcing you to hang out with them? Like, are you okay? Oh, no. The obby ended here. Let's go to a different obby. Like, are you okay? Are they forcing you to hang out with them? You can come here. You don't have to listen to them, blah, blah, blah. Calling them bullies. Saying that they were forcing me to do things that I didn't want to do. Yeah. And so when the new friend group I was hanging out with, it was me, Bethany, a very popular girl, all of them. And I was hanging out with them. So then they went up to the girl who was trying to defend me. They started yelling at her. She started crying. I never saw her cry before. And then that girl moved away. And so we were not friends. Yeah. She moved away, like, at the end of the year, at the same time that Harlow moves away. So yeah, I ended with that friend group at the end of that year. But during that year, even though we'd hugged it out and everything, I hadn't felt safe with that friend group. And it wasn't because of the people. Some of the people in that friend group were just amazing. But I didn't feel safe because I was very close to the people in my old friend group. And obviously they were very close to me. They were trying to just help me out. And they were mad at me for just ditching them all the time. Which obviously wasn't what I should have been doing. Like, for, like, excluding them. So they had a right to be mad. Like, when they'd invited us over, we'd made our own little clique. And yeah. So they were all upset. I was upset. All of us were upset. Yeah, and Harlow, she stopped really, whenever she could, she would just hang out with Bethany and not with me. So I was kind of alone a lot of the time. And I had always thought, like, you know, we're best friends. I thought we get to hang out, but I was kind of the third wheel. Well, more like the sixth wheel. And then I found out near the end of the year that one of the boys in my old friend group, he texted me and he was like, hey, like, Blair, they're hanging out without you. They're all on my bus, and they're all going to and they're having like a best friend party or something. Like, and it was like called Only the Good Ones, and I wasn't invited. So I was really upset, and I just wanted to go back to my old friend group. So I tried to hang out with my old friend group. They all thought I was mad at them. So I was like, no, I'm not. So I hung out with them for the rest of the year, which wasn't a good thing. Then Harlow announced to me, like, I'm moving, and she told me she was moving. And then the girl that started crying because of the confrontation also announced that she was moving. Obviously, she hated me after that confrontation because I didn't say anything. In that confrontation, I had said nothing. Okay? And she was mad at me. She was like, why didn't you stand up for me? You were just standing there and watching. You were being a bystander. And I was like, okay, I'm so sorry. And yeah, well, now we're friends, like long distance friends. I'm glad about that because I don't feel like fighting. And yeah, so she announced that she was moving.
You guys ready?
That was my dad telling me it's bedtime. But let's continue. Yeah, so I was sad that she was moving and all. But yeah. So yeah, it kinda ended like on that note. And then on the last day, I realized that how much I've missed because I was crying. And then Harlow, you know, she like said she would miss me and all, but she barely even talked to me. Like, I went to Yeti crying even though she wasn't moving. Because I don't know, the last day of school, I was emotional. And she was the only one there for me when I was crying. And I think and then is when I realized that I was in the wrong place. And I was doing a lot. I was with people that I shouldn't have been. I don't know, it was just a lot of drama. Because there were some amazing people in both friend groups that I just didn't want to be without. And I think I was in a hard position, so I don't really blame myself. I don't have any regrets because everything. But I think right now, because there's much less drama with me and a lot less drama just happening, I have my best friend, Yeti. We're rocky. Sometimes we have like best friend fights. But other than that, really no drama. And I think it was really nice to kind of get all of this off my chest because I haven't been able to tell anyone the entire story because when I talk to people about it, people get defensive and angry, and obviously everyone wants us to share their point of view. But sometimes you just want to talk and have people listen. So if you guys have any advice for middle school drama, I would love it. But yeah, thank you so much if you listened all the way to the end. Like, thank you for listening. Like, you guys are the real ones. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Update for this year. I joined my old friend group. I'm with an amazing friend group. Yeti's my best friend, as she should have been, as all she ever wanted was to look out for me. So yeah, and the girl, Gracie, ever since then, we've been on great terms. She has good friends now. Like, we're still in the same friend group and everything. She has her friends, I have my friends. We're in the same friend group, we hang out. In fact, I don't think she watches my videos, but if she does, oops. but I got her for Secret Santa for the 3rd year. I got her in 6th grade, 7th grade, and now 8th grade. So I got her for Secret Santa. So yeah. So I guess all my relationships are pretty good. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this story time, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment down below what you thought. And definitely, let me know if you guys want any other story times, because I love making them. It's a lot of fun. I love sharing things with you guys. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.